Hi, everyone. I am here with my friend Elyssa Mariduena. I'm practicing my Spanish, um, who I met through a website called Simbi, which is an online community of people who want to barter, offer, exchange services amongst each other, either virtually or in person. It's a super cool website. I saw that she had this session called Transformational Tarot, and I think that is what it's called, right?
Yes.
And I signed up immediately because I thought, this sounds amazing. This sounds really fun. So I signed up for fun, but it actually opened a great deal for me and allowed me to see myself in a really new way and experience a huge change, a shift in my life.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, Elyssa, would you please share with everyone watching, where you live and what you do and just a little bit
Okay.
about yourself?
Well, I am a bit of a hodgepodge of everything. I currently in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I was born in Quito, was raised in Guayaquil, went to the deep South Bible Belt, buckle of the Bible Belt as a kid every year growing up, visiting my grandmother on my mother's side. Who lived there, and I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for a very long time in the surrounding areas, and went back to Mississippi, and now I'm back in Ecuador. So
Yeah.
I'm a mixture of a whole bunch of different things that would seem that would not combine, but somehow in me they do.
Yes. So you do a lot of intuitive work with tarot. How did you
Yes.
come into that path?
Well, it's something that I started as a form of self-study. When I graduated college, quit my job, and broke up with my ex-fiance of like 2 years, I reached a point where I finally was like, I'm gonna stop trying to force myself to be something that I'm not, and I'm gonna give myself permission to finally explore what it is that is innate in me to explore. And so I allowed myself finally, for the first time in my life, to authentically explore different spiritual paths that I've always been interested in. And I came across a Reiki circle, and I had no idea about what Reiki was. I had no idea about energy healing, and I had no idea about any of that. But when I first went there and I had the meditation, and I felt like being in that sense of allness and nothingness all at the same time, that connection to divinity, I immediately felt like I have a purpose in my life. That's my life purpose, to have that connection and to bring it through and offer it to people. So my foundation was Reiki. And then I met in that Reiki circle a friend who did tarot, and she introduced me to another friend who's almost like a scholar when it comes to tarot. And she introduced me a little bit, did like a little cramming class, and to me it felt like a it was an innate language that I was remembering rather than taking on. And the more that I committed to the process, the more the universe was like, okay, I'm going to put you through the school of life and every like mystical and metaphysical experience that I was having, experiences that I was having at that time, helped like foment my path as a reader and helped develop my intuitive abilities and help me heal my past so I could be able to come in this journey and take on this role of a mystic and a healer through readings. And it's funny because my friend, she's gone and expanded in terms of energy healing, and I've gone and expanded in terms of tarot. But
Yeah.
started, we inspired each other, and it was lovely. Yeah. And I'm very grateful for this path, and I've been able to touch many lives in profound ways. So that's tell people that this is my heart calling. And
Yeah.
it is. Nothing gives me more joy than this.
Yeah. Was there a time in which you wanted to reject this work, that you felt you thought you were crazy, or it was too out there, or some there was some block?
um, to be honest, I don't ever think that it got to that point. Like, I've been skeptical of energy work. I've had blocks with that, but with readings, for some reason, I didn't. And I think it's because I've done this two different lifetimes in the past. I've
Oh,
been
okay.
literally a like Romani gypsy doing readings
Okay.
in two separate lifetimes. So that again is like why it felt like I was just remembering rather than
Yeah.
learning.
Gotcha.
And it's something so innate to me, and it's like an extension of me. There was a time period where I was in a really dark place, and when I get to in those dark spaces, I know not to offer readings. So it's not that I reject doing it, it's that I know I'm out of whack, so my readings are going to be out of whack, so that
Yeah.
it's going to be out of whack, so I just don't do it. And it's
Yeah.
better to avoid that. And it's also probably one of the reasons why I haven't been able to have this as a consistent business, is because it's contingent on the ebb and flow of me and my state of being. And so if I'm out of balance, I have diabetes and I have other health issues, and I've overcome some personal struggles. If I'm out of balance, then I cannot offer that consistently. Always, it depends on the state that I'm in. But the second that I overcome a personal struggle, that same day or the very next day, a reading comes. It's like the universe is just like, finally, you made it through. Okay, here. This is for you. Yeah.
So I'm curious if you have the same experience. So when I go through those dips in which I'm doing my inner work and I am in the underworld, that's what I call it. I go down in the underworld and I have a visit with the dark mother and work through some things. Whenever I come up again into the sunlight, into the springtime of my work, I usually attract in a whole new different kind of client. Like there's a new level that seems to come in, or a new vibration of work that I'm able to do. Do you have that experience too?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've had to deal with people who weren't like in their own process and at a certain level. And it's quite truthfully, it's honor to do readings for them, and it's an honor to be able to be equipped with the wherewithal and channel through the information that is uplifting for people who are working at that caliber. But also at the same time, I think the challenges open up. Like I absolutely refuse to do readings for people who are doing it to prove you wrong. Like from the that you get into it, it's just like they're doing it with the intention to prove that this is bogus. And somebody recently just reached out to me and was like, yeah, but I want to do it. But just to let you know, I'm an atheist, and more than likely I'll just figure that it's probability. And I'm like, you're asking for my transformational tarot? Not just a simple little reading. Like, if you understood like the level of profoundness that we get to reach just by the middle of the reading itself, like there's no possible way that can be probability. So I had a really long time talking to this person and explaining some of the biases that come with assuming that that something already is that, so therefore it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And he's open to doing it, and he's promised that he's not gonna give me a migraine, and he's gonna be open. So I'm taking it on. I've got an appointment with him on Wednesday, so we shall see. So
yeah, interesting.
yeah, you're working with people at a level that I've never worked with before. Like, also the challenges that I didn't want to face before, those type of challenges are also starting to come up. So
yeah,
yeah, and
giving you a new opportunity to meet those challenges from a different perspective, from a now where you are versus where you were before. Yeah, I too do not choose to work with people who are actively against healing. Because it's just not the most useful. It's not the best use of my energy or theirs.
For me, it's painful. Like, literally, it happened to me once, and I spent like an hour and a half trying to work through with this woman, and it felt like I was reaching through a wall of mud, grasping at anything, and like trying desperately to bring back anything useful. And like, it gave me a migraine for 3 hours, and I literally was like, never more. I'm not doing one single more one reading. I'm not ever doing one more reading if I ever get a client like this. And I never got a client like that, ever.
Good job.
And I was, this is my ultimatum, universe.
No more. Yeah, I think when we learn our lesson, we don't have to have those experiences any longer.
Yeah.
Or when we state what we don't want.
I was scared that this was going to be that, but he was receptive and open to what I was saying, and I think it will be empowering and good. And he is going to be able to get in the frame of mind to be able to have a positive experience for him. So,
I agree. I think, some people just, they need to kind of talk through their fears with you about it for a little bit. And then once they feel that you can hold space for those fears, and then you're not going to try to force something down their throat, that they're usually open to doing the healing work, whatever that looks like.
Also, the thing that I've noticed is that when people delve into the alternative healings and into the metaphysical experiences, they've got no frame of reference. It's so utterly stigmatized. It's so utterly ridiculized that there's that playing, but also there's the fact that if they truly have an authentic experience, their definition of reality changes.
Yes.
And therefore the continuancy and like them continuing to be the people that they know, that notion gets threatened. And when people defend more than anything else is their sense of self and identity. And so just like people refuse and resist change, people refuse and resist this type of work because it literally can change everything or expands and changes their concept of reality itself. So that's a lot to deal with, and that's why there's such a strong resistance, I think. And it's also why it's so beautiful when they are able to truly allow themselves to be transformed by the experience that the universe is providing for them.
Yeah, people have to be ready for the amount of change. And so, every now and then I'll have a person who I see one time, and then I won't see them again because they experience something that is a change, and maybe they decide they don't want any more change after that. They have to digest what has happened for a long time.
It's intense.
Yeah, it can be. Sure.
Definitely.
Yep. So, yeah, just allowing people to be wherever they are on their path and also just knowing, like you said, when to engage and when not to engage. Like, will
Mhm.
this cause me to have a migraine or not?
Exactly.
I don't really want a migraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I go through
what do you
that.
do, what do you do for your own self-care at this point in your journey? Like, what are some of the tools that you have to take care of you?
um, well, that's something that I'm still learning. Um, Honestly, it's time in nature
Mm-hmm.
and being a foster kitty mama.
Yeah.
Get lots and lots and lots of kitty cuddles.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Really, it has given me a sense of purpose. It's given me a sense of community because I'm part of a community that looks after cats in a particular park. And now that we've got the quarantine, we can't go to it. And we've got food with the guards, and it's really sad. But I've been involved in this for like over a year, and it's been wonderful to have a sense of community, to have that sense of that you're really being appreciated for what you do, and you have that like unconditional kitty love. And
Yeah.
I've saved lots of lives. I've also um, held space for kitties who have passed away, and it's been a whole drama, but it's been wonderful overall, and that really does my soul good. And also dance. I dance on my own, in my own way. I did ecstatic dance for a really long time. Um, so now that I don't necessarily have a community that does that, I do it on my own. And I enjoy belly laughs. Deep.
Yeah.
I, Mom and I just have this ability of making each other giggle nonstop. And that refuels me too.
Yeah. Have you been able to find an online ecstatic dance community?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it's wonderful. And I missed it yesterday, and I feel so sad about that. But my original ecstatic dance community in Asheville, North Carolina, the Asheville Movement Collective, because of the quarantine um, chaos that's going on right now, they have moved towards becoming online.
That's
So
awesome.
weekly they will be doing a Zoom meeting. They send out the playlist, and everybody puts play at the same time.
Oh,
The
that's so fun.
dances together in their own space, and I'll be able to finally join in
Yeah.
community. So like to see those faces that I haven't seen in forever,
Oh, that's
and
so lovely.
that's super exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. I feel really sad that I missed out on that, but I'm doing care for home health care for my dad, and so it's hard to,
Balance all the things, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
especially if I'm up like at 5 in the morning changing diapers and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, but the fact that it exists and that I will be able to plug into it, and that I'm gonna work my butt off to make sure that I do. It's just so wonderful to know that I have that resource, and it wouldn't be possible had all this not been going on. But it's a little blessing in amidst chaos. Yeah.
That's true. You're right. Because if this wasn't going on, they'd all be dancing live and you wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, do you think it's a good time to start this reading? I want to make sure we have
Yes.
enough time for it.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. So you had asked me to do a transformational tarot session, not for anyone in particular, but to see what's going on the world around us and everything that's going on with COVID-19 and the state of the world, and see what sort of message we get. I've personally never done this in terms of not a reading of this type, not for an individual, but for the collective. So this is going to be a new experience for me, and it's live.
Yeah. Means all the juice is coming in right now.
Oh yeah.
I can feel it already.
Okay, so as I do normally for my regular sessions, I take a minute or two to meditate, and during that time, I take out the cards,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ask the person who's receiving the reading. In this case, you will be the spokesperson for the world.
Uh-huh.
No light charge right there. Spokesperson. Okay.
Let me put on my crown.
So during this time that I'm doing my meditation, if you can think and reflect about some things that you'd like to have clarity about in terms of the world, then after my meditation, you can share that with me and we can delve in. Okay. All right.
Sounds
So
good.
for those who aren't familiar with my process, I use 3 cards, 3 decks. The first one is a transformational. What was I saying? It's the Romantic Victorian deck tarot, which is really beautiful.
It is.
Very illustrative. Then I use the soul cards, which don't have any attached meaning to them. It's just a reflection of the self in the moment, or a reflection of the heart,
Mm-hmm.
of the soul, or the situation. And some are really ridiculously jarring, and some are beautiful. Because both experiences are valid and need to be expressed. And then I have this wacky tacky, not tacky, it's amazing, lovely deck. I only use the Arcana, Major Arcana, because I'm still learning this deck, so I've gone through the Major Arcana so I can incorporate that into my readings.
Cool.
It's totally wackadoodle, inspired Lola Duchamp, but it's phenomenal, and it has different spin on the definitions. Look at that death card. It's so cool.
I love it.
Yeah, there's so many here. My absolute favorite is this one. Chariot.
A chariot.
Yeah. So I use all 3 at the same time simultaneously.
Lovely.
So the process, and I will begin my meditation, and then we shall see what comes up. Okay.
So I wrote down 5 questions.
Okay.
The first one is, what is dying now? Do you want me to read them all to you or wait?
To answer that question immediately, of stagnation and complacency.
Okay. Okay. Is that that's in the cards? Assuming.
Yeah.
Which one is that? Upside down?
That is Knight of Wands, but upside down.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Which sometimes it can be a positive thing. It can be like marriage and settling down. But in this case, I got it as like not taking the urgency to take matters into your own hands and to take action.
Mm-hmm.
We've been utterly complacent, putting up with things that are not okay for so long that that sense needs to die down.
Okay.
Sense of giving ourselves a space that we need to process that which we constantly busy ourselves with to avoid. That's what's dying.
Okay.
Whew.
Yeah. The next question that I wrote down was, what is being born?
Okay. Okay, so that's what we're going to see, the main reading that I just drew from. And for those who don't experience my, haven't experienced my transformational tarot, the difference between regular tarot readings and my transformational tarot readings is that there's always incorporated into the reading itself some sort of meditation or some sort of ritual or practice. And my cat is, sorry.
Kitty.
Oh no. There's always incorporated some sort of ritual or practice in the in the reading itself, and it always is done with the intention to generate transformation. So let me see what goes where, because Miss Kitty Cat just. Okay. Okay. So let's see what comes up with that. Okay. Okay. So in the past, there's been a sense of a battle between self-serving and like a battle within ourselves and society between self-serving and doing what is right and doing what we ought to do and what we're being called to do and what is our duty and our responsibility. So there's this internal fight, and the the earth sort of ends up being our casualty in the middle of that on a perpetual basis.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that matter to us and the things that we should cherish also end up being a casualty
Mm-hmm.
in that struggle. Now in the present, that's interesting. We're sort of getting our comeuppance.
What's the card?
Justice card. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's our collective karma, honestly, that is causing, it's not necessarily even causing, it's literally just there needed to be a reshift in balance, and we cannot continue to be perpetuating onwards the way that we had, just blindly, without taking account of what we needed to do, without being aware of what we needed to do, actually stopping ourselves from continuing to auto-destruct and destroy the planet. Like literally, the ozone has repaired itself. In just a month or 2 months, it has repaired itself 30 years worth.
Wow.
30 years worth after the whole world being in quarantine for just a month or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really getting the strong sense that it is a reshifting of balance, and it is our karmic debt that's at play right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's also this card, which is Temperance. It's I read cards sideways as well. Yes, this time is a time of a lot of tumultuousness, but also is a time of stasis. When you think of like the emotional jarring reality of people who are becoming sick and the deaths toll, and then like the stasis of just staying home and quarantining in your room and not really like twiddling your thumbs and not really knowing what to do with yourself. It's almost like a violent contrast between both. But I'm also got the sense that this is igniting people, and initiating them and pushing them towards having the dark night of the soul that will initiate them in a different path, that will get them out of their sense of complacency and numbness, and will allow them to have a sense of inner balance and peace with themselves. So I'm surprised that it's not the tower, because that's sort of like the whole notion of what the tower is, but with explaining with this sideways, like the two extreme opposite polarities happening at the same time, that's sort of the effect that it is causing. Woo!
That's awesome.
So what's behind all of this? It's that for too long we have been split into our realities, our notions of ourselves, of who we function as in the world, and our internal spirit is like, has been like a schism, a divide, and there's, in order to operate in this one realm, you have to completely ignore this one realm, and then this one eventually catches up with you and messes this one up. Or if you concentrate too much on this one, then like on this realm, then you can't be self-sustaining. So it's like how to create a merger within the individual, but also within the collective, the universe, and the world. where we honor the the spirit, where we honor what's important, where we honor
The soul.
the soul, and
Mm.
space for that, and also hold space for managing the practicalities and the finances and economy and all these things that we believe make the world go round. But now, yeah, the crash, the stock market crashed, but we're still here.
Yeah.
Like, might be one of those things that create a a notion of where our reality is right now, and allows us to work within a system. But if the system itself is corroded and needs resetting, that's what we're doing. We're setting. We're hitting the reset button.
What is the card for this part? I'm curious.
This one.
Ooh. Oh, I love that. Yes, I see.
So it's literally like stop.
Yeah,
Just
the hands.
and be. And come.
Faces are so close together.
Yeah, just come, literally come together. See yourself soul to soul for who you are. Stop all of the jargon and just be. So for you and for those watching, I would like to process you through, bring you through the process of a meditation that's coming up with this card.
Okay.
If you can take a deep breath. And any and all anxiety, any and all craziness, just take a deep breath and let it out with a sigh. Or of those cleansing breaths. And now allow your deep breaths to bring you within the center of yourself, your being, your heart, your soul. And breathe deeply. And as you continue to come deeper within yourself, you get a sense of ignition, of a light, of a flame kindling within, this divine spark of creation that is expressed within you, is expressed within all of us. Allow this light to be fanned with your breath. Let this expand it. Let the breath expand it. Let it grow. Feel it come across and expand across your whole body, your energy field, your room. Feel a ray of light expand from the center of this flame to the very heart of spirit of the universe, this golden pink sphere of love and light. Tap into it like a taproot and drink in, funnel through that energy. Let it combine with your own energy. Let it expand out through your body, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your upper arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, the tip of your fingers, and now touch your heart chakra. Now breathe in deeply. And look at the schism within yourself. The logical, pragmatic mind, the intuitive, loving, creative heart. Hold space for both. See both in the state that they are. See which one rules over the other, which one ridicules the other. Which one is domineering and mean and belittling, disempowering, painful to one another, to the other. Take a deep breath. And see what's missing. What's missing in that side that's taunting? What are its resentments? What are its fears? When you understand that, can you offer it the love that it needs? Allow the heart to hold space for the mind. Engulf it with love. Through this service, it is an initiation where you are enacting that part of yourself by offering yourself that love, that support, that solace. Take a deep breath and see yourself holding hands with each of these different parts of yourself. Breathe in, allow it to integrate all the positive, wonderful, uplifting, powerful, remarkable, genius, necessary aspects that both of these sides of us have to offer. Breathe it in and integrate it into your being. Become one whole, not one over the other, but honoring and seeing both. That part of you that has felt neglected. Look at her. Look at him. Now that it's been given power, that it's been given the chance to enact on being itself. That's all it needed. That's all you need. Just the balance that's necessary within. Now take a deep breath and feel this new sense of presence and balance within you. And expand out your view across the world. See the globe, the earth, Mother Earth before you. See the people in panic, distraught, confused, fighting the schism within themselves. Desperately trying to hold on to what little power they have. Grappling with their changing realities. Send love. You understand now. Send love. Send love to that neglected part of themselves. The part that's suffering, the part that needs support. Send love to that part of them that's spinning out of control because their sense of power is being threatened. Send love, security, solace, peace. See the earth in her radiance. See her thriving. See her recovering. See her repairing herself. See the clear, gushing waters of the waterfalls and rivers. Beautiful peacocks in flight. Wildlife coming back, clearing their space, their land, their earth. And see us, how we can be in harmony with her, how we can be in harmony with her creation. Feel this need that we've suppressed, that we've dismissed. Feel the urgency. And feel the irony that by just sitting back and resting and integrating ourselves, we're allowing this earth to do the same.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Take a deep breath. Tighten the pelvic area and release. Tap your body and you can come back to when you feel ready.
Thank you. Oh, and I hate to end this.
Wait. There's really...
Okay, one more.
Okay, well, let me give the gist of it. So what we need to do moving forward.
Okay.
Having done that meditation, we need to move from our neurosis and the ways in which our society and ourselves as individuals are sick, and we perpetuate that, towards moving towards what we love and what we cherish, and valuing that and making that our main focus. Not blindly accepting things as, oh, that's the way it's always been, that's the way it's done, therefore it will always continue, but really seek how to change and how to act from the inner compass and how to bring about the reality based on what we truly believe. And then as a result, we will find peace. And this state, literally the other day, I was thinking, wow, the whole entire world is going through a hangman phase right now. This is the hangman, which is a sense of like being suspended to as a sense of self-sacrifice that will lead eventually to a greater good. We'll come out of this phase and we'll be able to find peace again. And it's the Temperance card. This time it's not sideways the way we have it now.
Oh, beautiful. What was the other card that you were speaking to? I just want to see, I love seeing the symbols.
So this is the Queen of Cups.
Yeah.
Finding balance by and supporting yourself by doing what you love to do and being truthful to your heart and creating from that heart space. And when she's upside down, it's like you're a neurotic mess. So it was sideways.
Yeah.
So it's from being a neurotic mess to
yes.
And then the Hierophant. Crazy and trippy is that.
Love it.
Ironically, this is in this deck represents blindly accepting dogma. So first, so it's not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And, coming to our own conclusions and breaking through those barriers that we have within ourselves to actually finally take action, which makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that beautiful offering, that beautiful gift. I loved it. I have to go because I have somebody waiting for me. Okay. But I want to know, how can people find you if they want to have a reading with you?
Okay. Well, you can find me on Instagram at Ely Serendipity, Serendipity. I'm also on Simbi. I'm really active on Simbi as Elyssa Mariduena. And I'm on Facebook and also on Zoom. So being it that I'm in Ecuador, calling directly might be an issue, but you can also shoot me an email and we can Skype.
What's the email?
Find me on Skype through my email. So
Okay.
here it is. I'm typing it in.
Or are you typing it into the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, there it is.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so I'll have that attached to the Facebook and to the YouTube video, so everybody can access it, and they can reach out if they want to have a personal transformational tarot reading. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. And I'll talk to you soon.
It's an honor. All right.